Hello. Confidence isn't everything, right? And now this video is gonna sound like I'm gonna contradict myself because I made a video that says that looks aren't everything. But it's very easy to confidence your way and charisma your way through girls, right? It's actually not very easy, but it is very doable, right? Like there can be a 4 out of 10 guy. He can be fat, short, right? He can have ungroomed hair, and he can still and more girls than like a 7 out of 10 guy who has no confidence. But the thing is that when this confident guy, right? Imagine this super confident guy, right? Who's getting all the girls, right? Who's getting the 9 out of 10, this 8 out of 10, the 7 out of 10s, the girls who are like absolutely outside his league. He's getting all of them, right? But then this guy comes along, right? He's got just as much as confidence as him, right? The same level of confidence. He's got an 8 out of 10 confidence. This guy's got an 8 out of 10 confidence, and but there's a little thing about him that's different, right? He's basically the same guy, but he's not fat. He's not short. You know what? Let's give him short, right? Because that can't be genetically changed for the black or fat shirt guy. Sorry, he's not fat, right? He's ripped. He has groomed hair, right? He has a razor sharp jawline. He has excellent hair, right? Maybe he has like a buzz cut like me. He's a crew cut like me. He's built. What happens is then, do you think the girl will still pick the confident guy over him? The fat confident guy? Do you think so? Of course she wouldn't. And I legit saw this living example of this just when so I'm gonna tell you about the situation, but I'm gonna keep it like very vague because like I don't want people to know about this, like, because it's kind of like a secretive thing, right? So I joined this community around a few weeks back. I guess it's been like 3 weeks or a month, right? And I saw this girl that I liked. So as soon as I got into this community, I made like 3 to 4 friends. So there were 3 of us who went for this small workshop inside that community, and one of us stayed back to do whatever he was doing. And there was this girl from the same batch who also went for this workshop, right? And I liked her, and I didn't tell anyone about it. But this other guy, right? Let's keep his name X, right? So this X guy, he also liked this girl, and X wasn't that good at approaching girls, right? He's very bad at. I mean, I wouldn't say he's very bad because I've taught him some stuff, but he is not as good, right? And X, at the end of the day, right? So we were doing whatever we did, right? From I guess 12 to 4:03, maybe even 5 o'clock. I don't remember the exact time. And while I was walking with one like X and my other friend and this guy, X went back, right, into this room where this girl was to get her Instagram, right? And I kind of knew that he liked her. And my friend is like, bro, he at the first day of this community, he's like, bro, I like her. I also liked her. I was like, shit, like to have competition. And I also made it clear that I liked her, right? I immediately, once I went home, I noticed that she had a ring on that day in when she came for the workshop, and I messaged her that I like the ring you were wearing, right? And she replied like very like in a very normal way, right? She wasn't like head over heels over me. She wasn't very she wasn't resisting it, right? She wasn't. It was like it was a fine response, right? You're like, okay, thank you so much, ha ha ha, whatever, kind of awkward, right? The next day I come to this community, bro, this guy likes another girl, right? It like he's talking about this other girl, right? And I'm kind of like, oh, like, was he always talking about this girl? you know that's that. And I start talking to this girl, we start flirting and stuff, right? Few weeks fast forward, right? And I was just talking with this girl a few days back on the call. He tells me, do you know X liked me? I'm like, yeah, I knew that. And you know what she said? She said, I literally had to push him away. I had to divert his attention to this other girl. Like, so basically, he started liking her best friend, right? Like, I had to divert him. I had to convince him that she kind of likes him for him to go to her because I didn't want to come close to him. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine liking a girl and she legit brainwashes you to believe that this other girl likes you, who doesn't, by the way? She didn't like him. She brainwashes you to believe that she liked him. So you stay away from her, bro. Like, can you imagine that? That is where attraction, right? That is where being handsome comes in. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm taller than that guy. I look better, I have a better jawline, I have better hair, I speak well, right? That is where looks come in, right? And honestly, that is also where confidence comes in. Like in this case, there was like no chance at all for him to win because he didn't have the confidence either, right? He was like, so this guy, he called her beautiful, and she perceived it as like, ew, like almost like a backhanded comment, almost like harassment, or whatever how you pronounce that word. Have you seen those memes? Like, this is like the boss, right? It's an office setting, right? It's this comic art, right, of this uh, boss giving this compliment to his employee, this female worker, and he's like, "Oh, you're looking beautiful today, Susan." She's like, "Oh, thank you," like all blushing and stuff. At the same time, there's this like fat, short, balding other employee who's like, "Oh, looking good today, Susan," and she's like, she's like going and informing HR. She's like, like doing stuff like that. That is legit how it is, bro. Like, it is the truth. So looks do matter, and I'll teach you how to have this happen to you, like what happened to me. If you want that stuff, link in the description. Join the Discord. I have a paid course for looks maxing and attraction. Join that.